possible. Yeah, this is Fantasy Shopper.
Just to sort of add a few more things, like we're pretty well sort of networked up with all, like, we can't show you what we're doing at the moment, but it's pretty hardcore, and we're like partnered up with like every UK retailer, you know, sort of fashion retailer, all the big ones in the US like Macy's, Bloomingdale's, etc. We've got Topshop, Selfridges, Harvey Nicks, like loads of retailers on board with this already, sort of based on what we've showed them under NDA. And we've also got like all the celebrity gossip magazines like More and Closer and Grazia, OK, and basically everyone all signed up for this. Got a really good support of sort of tech software engineers, like world-class engineers working as our advisory panel. So there's a really great opportunity, and there's a lot to learn with the project we're doing. And if any of you are interested to, you know, I mean, I'm not saying like if you're unemployed, come and talk to us. Hopefully you're employed because you're good or whatever. But yeah, if you're talented developers, come and talk to us, because we definitely need to hire people right now. So, you know, we're going to be around all evening and further. So yeah, come and talk to us. Cheers.
Dave Ashenden. Dave, there you are. Which mic do you want? Whatever. Okay, I'll give you this one. Yeah, I don't know if we have we're still using Chris's. Yeah, you're doing a good job there, Chris.
3 W's.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, go on.
I think I'll take the and one, it's probably easy.
Hello. Yeah.
Hi, hello everyone. I'm Dave Ashtenden, the Monkey Online. I thought I'd come introduce myself. I've just moved back to Exeter from that way. Okay. Cool. Always get the mics wrong. I've moved back to Exeter from the Midlands, London, working in brand agencies. So it's quite interesting to hear about Fantasy Shopper, because when I was moving back here, I was told by several people that it was suicide, or career suicide. That was the end of it. So it's very nice to be here and see there is actually people here, there are things happening, and get involved with you guys. I thought I'd talk to you basically about my background. It's a very confusing one. I'm from agencies, largely direct brand agencies. So I started out as a developer. However, that's had to change, because where I've worked previously with brands, being a developer just doesn't exist. You're expected to work with designers, marketeers, business analysts. So I've developed into more of a cross-discipline. I sit in the middle of development and design for companies. So completely forgotten my point, unfortunately. It's very easy to just go, I just do PHP, etc. However, I found that would never get me anywhere, and I couldn't convey my ideas. So when I had 3 minutes, I was going to talk about how using language is important. Oh, I'm dying.
It's all right, it's all right. We understand.
See, so whilst I work as a developer, it's using plain language to communicate with people, etc. So, oh no, this is bad.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Right. So I'll go over out of work. I did have notes on that. I like to fix my van, which you've probably seen on the website. I draw and T-shirts, so it's quite confusing. I play designer one half of the day, developer the next, then the marketeer in the evening. I have forgotten everything I was going to say, so I'm not going to pretend.
That's cool. Yeah, no, thanks for getting it. It's not easy. You've done a good job. Chris Simpson and Joe Green. Yeah, I think it's like really good for, it's certainly been good for myself to have a friendly environment like this, to get up, you know, the first time and actually try out speaking. And I know there's a lot of people who have been really scared about getting up and were last time. And it's pretty scary for me last time. I'm kind of getting used to it now. But unless we have these local events going on, we'll never have this opportunity to just start, you know, and just get up there. And we're not going to, like, you know, shout at you or anything. And then you do it once and then, you know, you think, yeah, I try it again. And, you know, you get a bit better each time. And then soon we'll be growing our own international speakers, you know. But it has to start somewhere. And I like to hope that, you know, we'll be a supportive community to encourage people, you know, to just get up and just give it a go. Right, here you go.
I do. I hate my voice in a microphone. I do a bit of stand-up comedy, and I don't sound like this to me in my head. But I'm Chris Simpson. This is Joe. We're from IDEO. We have our headquarters here in Exeter. We have an office in London. And we're branching out into San Francisco next month, which we're all really excited about. IDEO is a content company. We process data and we market data. And I'm just going to tell you in 90 seconds, because that's my half, a very brief overview of what we do. We're a content marketing company. We process vast amounts of data, and our core technology is built around semantics and semantic extraction of key entities within that data. So we work with brands and we work with publishers, processing their data, extracting key entities from it, and building a taxonomy of linked data around, and how when you apply context to data it becomes infinitely more valuable. And we're working with a number of large brands, seeing how we can link semantic data to their data that they already have through their CRM systems, and how we can then track and interact and generally understand more about a user's journey throughout all of their interactions with a brand. So that, in a nutshell, is what IDEO does. We monitor and process data, and we apply a wider context to it. We draw links between other information we have in the social web and from other websites. We aggregate and curate and push it all through to one location. So it's a bit of a vague concept in 90 seconds. I'm really passionate about talking through with anyone afterwards if you want to know more details about the technology itself. And I suppose that's definitely my 90 seconds up, and pass to Joe for a little bit more.
Thanks very much, Chris. So he's already discussed that we deal with large data and we apply context and meaning to this data. And we've been doing this for companies such as Guinness. The Guinness brand want to create a one-to-one, you know, customer relationship with their customers. And for Guinness's new social news site, we've been aggregating news that Guinness think that their customers would talk about in the pub with their friends. We've been analysing this content, linking it off to related content. So when a user comes to the new Guinness site and they sign up for an account, they've got the option to link their Twitter and Facebook profiles to their account. We'll go through their Twitter stream, their Facebook stream, analyse what they're talking about, and then immediately subscribe them to topics and information that they think they'll be interested about. So we can take our platform and apply it to something as a big drinks brand like Guinness, but we're also starting a new project shortly with an American company where we'll be applying this same technology to medical research, and we'll be able to analyze what sort of different drugs there are and who's doing what research in which fields of medicine and all that sort of thing. So yeah, that's how we sort of apply our platform.
And in closing, doing a bit of a fantasy shopper, we are expanding all the time. So if you're talented, you know, just bypass them and come talk to us maybe. Because, no, it's a complete joke. We are expanding in Exeter and in London. So do talk to us if that's of any interest to you. And thanks for your time.
Okay, next up, Sophie. Sophie, where are you, Sophie, hiding? So Sophie is, I mean, it reminds me actually, Sophie getting up, that I perhaps should have said something a bit about the website. I'm not sure whether I was supposed to say something. Okay, so a bit later, Sophie's going to run just a little bit of a workshop on putting together some ideas on what we could do as a collaborative website. But I thought if she does her 3 minutes now, she can get all that out of the way, and then you'll know who she is. And she'll feel a bit more comfortable trying to squeeze you through information later. Yeah, do you want...
I've got it on my little flash.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. No, oh. I'll get the hang of this eventually.
Yeah. Take your time.
It's not saying the flash drive. That's the thing.
It's not...
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there we go. It's just a very slow computer, I'm afraid. Which one do you want? This one? This one?
No, that's heavy.
If you want. Okay.
We'll wait while the computer just thinks about it, and I'll start talking anyway. I brought a slide, not our website, because our website is like 5 years out of date, and I don't like showing it to anybody. Along with Andy, who's sat over there, who I won't ask to stand up, but who's going to wave to you. We're KN. We do, I've written on the slide, web design strategy and consultancy. We're basically, these days, I've brought some notes, a pair of independent web consultants. We particularly like working with people and getting involved with stuff at a fairly early stage and helping people turn business requirements and that kind of slightly hand-wavy, we want a website kind of thing into an actual sort of concrete plan and a vision for what people are going to do online. We both, myself and Andy, tend to collaborate very closely together working on the overall business strategy, and then I specialise more in the sort of user experience design and content end of things, where Andy specialises more in sort of back-end, server-side and hosting infrastructure. A very long time, I'm going to keep this really quick, a very long time ago we got into this. I was working as an editor in publishing, and Andy was involved in IT, and because that was how it was back in the late 90s, people started asking us to build websites for them because there weren't all that many people doing that. So out of that we formed KN, which was very much known as KN Web Development, as it says in the little bottom corner. And for about the first 5 or 6 years, I'd say we were a pretty typical specialist web design and development agency. As I said, we've now much more gone into just being Andy and I as sort of working independently, more on the consultancy side. We still do a small amount of design and build for clients. Also, once upon a time, we were partners in a small publishing business and worked with investors on some startup ideas. That was all quite interesting. We moved to Dartmoor last summer because we liked Dartmoor. We were in Oxfordshire for the first sort of 10 or 11 years, so that's probably why we haven't met anybody before. We had no idea what the web scene was going to be like down here, and I have to say it seems absolutely amazing and lots of incredible, amazing stuff going on. And we're just really keen to come here today, meet everybody, get to know people. You know, I've met a few people before, and Frankie and I, don't get Frankie and I in a room together. It's like an hour and a half later, nobody else has managed to get a word in. But that's me, Andy over there, and do come and say hi.